been gone for a bit. I missed everything. Brazil getting upsetted by Norway. France barely getting out of a brawl of an MMA game against Paraguay. Colombia losing two attackers, getting injured. Somehow the red card for Florian Balogun getting overturned. Ronaldo announcing that it's his last World Cup. I go on vacation for 4 days and everything happens in the World Cup. Argentina, Cape Verde. Oh, Cape Verde almost upset. Like I can't handle it, man. I can't go on vacation and miss everything like that. Like it's great for everybody else, but for me, I can't take it. I can't take it. But I did watch one game when I got back, and that was arguably game of the fucking World Cup. Mexico versus England. And so oh my god, the storylines in this game both on and off the pitch. I got a little surprise for you guys. I'm pretty sure you've seen it, but I got a little surprise for the off the pitch stuff as well. So yeah, Mexican team barely lost to this English side 2-3 in game of the round of 16 game of the so far. Goals from Bellingham, Quinones, Raul Jimenez, Kane, and a red card to Jero Kwanzaa. I got home after feeling a little sticky, feeling a little gross, Went to go take a quick shower during the water break in the first half. Came out a couple minutes later, Bellingham scored two. I was like, are you fucking shitting me, man? I could not believe that I missed everything. But I was luckily able to see Quinones' goal, which is a really good goal from him, really good header. I thought this entire game, Raul Jimenez, he could have had like 5 goals with the way he was playing in that first half. He was lights out. If it wasn't for Jordan Pickford standing on his head, he deserves the plaudits for this game being the way it is. Raul Jimenez was on a different level. Jordan Pickford had to match that. That first save where he got down and stopped that from going in the near post, huge save. He had a couple others that were like point blank almost that he knocked over the bar. So really good performance by both Pickford and Raul Jimenez. Any different day, the Mexico would be going through and England could have been going home based off of the way those two players played. But England just showed why they are a team that are trying to win the World Cup, trying to bring it home, bring it home. Bellingham stepped up, got those 2 goals quick on the counter, off the run of play. Like I said, Harry Kane showing what Harry Kane does, played pretty well. Thomas Tuchel finally did what I was asking for and played Saka and Anthony Gordon. Probably looked at the game that happened, their last game, and realized, oh, Anthony Gordon's just a better player than Nani Madueke, who didn't even come on this game. I feel like Marcus Rashford maybe should have came on. Declan Rice, I feel like, had an off game. He was just getting run ragged by those Mexican players. Ellie Anderson, I think, played pretty well. Nico O'Reilly, I think, showed his inexperience on the global stage and kind of got run around a little bit. Ezri Konsa, I feel like him and Kwanzaa were the same boat as Nico O'Reilly, where like they have not played much on the global stage, and that showed that inexperience, especially for Kwanzaa, who got sent off in a pretty unlucky fashion. It's a deserved red card, but if he had kept his foot down a little bit or even just touched the ball, he could have potentially just had a yellow or stayed on. It was just a whack. It was so whack. Going over the stats, it was all Mexico. Classic funny 6-7 possession, 20 shots, only 5 of them on target, but a lot of them were blocked and just narrowly wide. 37 touches in the box, England's box. They're basically dancing on it. They may have missed one less big chance than England, but I feel like it could have been more. 12 corners for Mexico as well is just an insane number. I think their corner routines for Mexico were not the greatest, especially in the dying moments where they were trying to get that tying goal to bring it to extra time. Some of those corners were outright horrendously bad. There's a couple of those corners that just sailed all the way by. You're a professional player. You should not be sending a corner 50 yards behind every other player in the box. It's weird. 8 of those shots that were off target were very close. There was a couple that were like this far off the bar or the post. I mean, so they could have been pretty close. 7 block shots that could have gone anywhere if they had a chance to go towards the net. So really good game. Really good game. Jimenez penalty, really good. He just mimicked Kane's, who had a really good pen as well. Both of the pens, the goalkeeper dove the right wing, just barely missed it, which I think was shocking. I that both of them were as close as they were to saving it. It could have been even more of a crazy result if either of those pens had been saved. Some highlight players for Mexico, obviously Raul Jimenez. Quinones has had a lights out performance for this World Cup. I'd be surprised if he stays at this at Alcadisa. I don't know how to pronounce it, unfortunately. But if he stays there, I'd be surprised if he doesn't get maybe an offer from a European side, either from like a championship or like a low level um, Italian, German, French, like one of those kind of sides, where like maybe he goes there to see out the rest of his career. Vasquez, I think, played pretty well for the back line of Mexico. I think the midfield of Mexico, I feel like could have done a bit more. They kind of let Bellingham and Gordon Saka kind of just run through them almost. It was kind of like the attacking half and the defending side of Mexico were on 2 completely different wavelengths. And that midfield was all they were doing is kind of just passing and keeping possession for the most part. They weren't really helping out the best they could on defensively, and they weren't helping out the best they could attackingly. They were kind of caught in between that, trying to stop the run of the counterattacking of England while also trying to get that next goal. Where I feel like if one of those 3 had taken, or even the 2 subs that came on, one of them being Edison Alvarez, who I think played outstanding. I think he should have started. But if one of those 3 starters had taken taken this game by the scruff of the neck and like brought their ability to one of the 2 sides consistently, I feel like it could have been a better showing, a more balanced side of Mexico. Obviously, these numbers don't mean much. I feel like these were all better than a 6 or 5. I feel like minimum 7. I think Gilberto Mora, he's 17. Obviously, this is his first World Cup of many. Outstanding starlet in the making. So I feel like Ederson Alvarez should have maybe started over him. I feel like he could have been a wild card that comes off the bench, late in the game, super energetic, run at that back line. So I feel like nerves kind of got to him. Romo, on the other hand, super experienced. I feel like Ederson Alvarez coming on for him kind of changed, or not, he didn't come on for him. Who did he come on? Oh yeah, I forgot. Ederson Alvarez came on for Montes, which I think that was another mistake that they had. Playing a midfielder in the back line, I feel like bringing him on instead of another defender, which I think was a weird decision because they only brought attackers on, even though they were only 1 down at that point. Bringing on just another attacker and going to a formation that had only 3 natural defenders was weird. But it kind of worked out as they almost got back in the game. They were nearly there, and I think Mexico will be happy that they got as far as they did. I think they were really good, and then they just showed up against a Mexican side and kind of did not play the way that they were leading into this game. They should have taken more advantage of the altitude that England were not as used to. The fact that they were in their home stadium, they should have taken more advantage of that. I feel they should have been a little bit less physical defensively. I think obviously the penalty they shouldn't have gone anywhere near trying to give that a pen. They should have just contained him. I think they should have stuck more to Saka and Gordon, try to stick close to them defensively so they don't let them have room to dribble, make that amazing pass, or do a skill move. So I think defensively they could have been a little bit better. Attacking they could have been a little bit better, and for the Mexican side. But England, really good for them. Uh, they showed why they are a contender. Like, not really a dark horse or an outside shout, but like they are technically in the running to potentially win. They have an easier um, run, sort of, to the World Cup. They go on to play Norway, which who beat Brazil in an upset, which will be a good game for them. Norway, I think they could win if they can beat a Brazilian side. They should have a good shout against England of winning. But uh, we're going to talk about what happened off the field now here, which I thought was which I thought was so funny. I could not believe this happened when I was um when I saw this. So while the game was happening during the celebrations, Jordan Henderson tried to jump over an advertising board, got injured, and had to get stretchered off. I think he's the first player in history to get yellow carded from the bench and then get stretchered off in history. It's just outstanding. Let's play it here so you can all watch it. As you can see, yeah, he comes over and he's already trying to leap it like he's a cowboy hopping the fence, and I don't know what happens there if his knee there catches or whatnot, which I think it does, and he just lands so awkwardly. I'm pretty sure he broke his wrist or something there because that he landed his entire weight on his arm there, and then just crumpled and just absolutely ruined the title celebrations and his World Cup, uh, his last World Cup. So yeah, that was England versus Mexico. Game of the tournament so far for me. Mexico play Norway, like I said, or not Mexico. England go play Norway, like I said, which happens next week. So that'll be a good game to look forward to. But yeah, I'll try not to miss any more games because my God, I can't keep missing them. They always happen to be better when I miss them.